my head and my heart decide. From places I've never been, in colors I've never seen. From places I've never been, in colors I've never seen. Colors that I've never seen. I still remember how it used to be, holding hands, running wild and free. Crossed our hearts, said we never let go. I still think about our younger days, how we dreamed about a better life, holding you so close to me, in the backseat of your ride. We fell apart, thought we lost everything, just lost in our memories. And I sure hope you do remember me like I remember you. I still think about our younger days, how we dreamed about a better life, holding you so close to me, in the backseat of your ride. We fell apart, thought we lost everything, just lost in our memories. And I sure hope you do remember me like I remember you. Feeling like there's no other way. Talk about a long night trip. No, no, no. Don't ever wait. You kept traces of my thoughts. Your frames are divided in my thoughts. Your love, dance so I can feel your lips. Oh no, no. Don't ever look away. You fill the spaces in my heart. Your friends are nowhere to be found. We're tripping all around and girl, we don't know nobody. There's people all around, but girl, it's a private party. We don't know nobody. There's people all around, but love, it's a private party. And I'm tripping, you're tripping, trip, trip. You're tripping, you're tripping. Dance on the slow motion. Trip, trip. You're trip, and I'm tripping. Dance on the slow motion. Dancing, talk about a long night trip. No, no, no. Don't ever wait. You kept traces of my thoughts. Your frames are divided in my thoughts. We're tripping all around and girl, we don't know nobody. There's people all around, but girl, it's a private party. No, no, no.
Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Having a pretty good day here. Been a busy day. We had, if you've been around before, you knew that we fostered a dog about a month ago. And she got quite a bit better, put a little bit of weight on, and she got a new home yesterday with a wonderful local family and some kids, some other Great Danes for her to play with. So we're super excited and hope for the best that she'll come out of her shell a bit. She was a little bit shy, but she was such a sweetheart. Is such a sweetheart. And today we took in a new foster. Name yet to be determined. Another Great Dane. This poor guy, he's, of course, Dane, super sweet, super loving. He reminds me a lot of Jackson. But, man, he has been through hell and back. He's got scars all over the place. I guess he got into a fight or something when he was out. His ears are torn up. He's just in really bad shape, but he's surprisingly good spirits for being in such bad shape. So we've got him now and brought him home today. That's why we're starting the stream a little bit late. We're going to try to nurse him back to health, get him introduced to the pack. I think he's going to do great. I think Jackson's going to love him. Like I said, he's just like him. But we're going to see how that works out. If nothing else, we'll nurse him back to health, get him back in good shape, and find him a loving home as well that he fits in if he doesn't fit here. So, another day at taking pictures at the shelter, and I don't know, it's gotten cooler here in Central Texas. Today wasn't too bad. It was around 60, high 60s. Heavy overcast though. It's, you know, the light for that is okay. It's not the most fantastic thing, but it's honestly better than full blast sunlight. So that's what we were working with today. We didn't get a lot of dogs. We got I think 7 because we had to deal with we dealt with getting the new foster, getting the paperwork straightened out, finding out his background, getting everything ready, getting him home, getting him put in the kennel, get his stuff out, all that stuff that comes with the fostering. But we are more than happy to do it. We love helping the animals, love helping them. But we might as well tear into it here and get some stuff knocked out. So As always, we are going to start out by stacking everything into groups so we can more easily manage the photos to see what we have. And makes it a little easier to browse through, make sure that we got everybody. And this cool weather, I don't know what it is about the animals in the cool weather, but man, they were just psycho today. Jumping all over. Wife got her arm all scratched up from this guy here. Just jumping and jumping and jumping on her, and it got pretty crazy there for a bit. And we had two of them that were pretty bad. That one, he wasn't as bad. The other one I think already stacked up, but he was just, she, I'd have to look now. I think it was a she. Not only were they just jumping crazy, but didn't like the leash. So we went through a whole few moments of, no, this is how this is gonna work. Because a lot of dogs, especially if they're used to being out and not on a leash, or in sometimes even in fencing. But if they aren't trained well, and they think they always run the show, you can end up with a lot of bad personality traits. Not that they mean bad by it, they just don't know any better. They don't know how it works. So, yeah, that particular dog, I think it was this one here. Yep. Was it a boy or a girl? This is a boy. His name, Vader, also known as Bentley. Why, I don't know, some dogs end up with two different names. But he was not used to a leash at all, and he just lost his shit for a bit. The wife couldn't hardly handle him. I had to stop, go up, grab the leash, and just let him calm down. Finally, he learned, I'm not going anywhere, and this is what he did. He just sat there. He gave in. He's like, all right, you win. And so that's what we ended up with. And I didn't get a lot of great pictures because of it, because he wasn't very happy with me after that. After not getting his way. He didn't want anything but sit. So I got a few not fantastic. I mean, they're pretty good shots in general, but I don't know. We'll see what we had to work with when we get there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep, 7 dogs. So we're going to start out with Crush. Crush was a female. Again, the leash thing today, I don't know what was going on, but most of the dogs just were not having the whole leash thing. Now we are going to put our lens corrections on here. Turn that music down a little bit loud. And switches to a 1x1. Crop this card down. The white balance on this is awful. And this doesn't go anywhere. This is just an informational picture, but we will straighten it out a little bit anyway. There we go. That's better. That's better. All right. So with Crush, we need a face shot. I don't know if I got a good straight on. That one's not bad. A little bit soft. They were all pacey. Like I said, I think this cool weather really had them just all over the place. There's a great body shot. Missing the feet though. We're gonna try to find us a good. That one's a touch soft as well. That one was nice and sharp. Super sharp. So was that one. They're not exactly straight on. I prefer them looking right at me, but not always possible. That one's soft. So I think we're going to use this one. Oh, I didn't copy my settings from this one. So let me copy those. Process treatment, yep. And we'll go back here and paste those on. And paste settings. And then we're going to recrop. Again, this is going to be a headshot. This is the one that most people will see. First, anyway. There we go. Really nice dog. Just the whole leash thing, man. Today was just crazy with the leashes. I'm gonna see. I know the feet aren't on here, but I really like the body shot, and we're at the paste twice. Yeah, it's a 1x1. Yeah, auto that up. This one I didn't do that with. I'm going to auto it up because it pulls. Yeah, it's a little much. Here we go. Thought he had slobber there. He didn't. It's just the color of his fur. Face shot, body shot. And what other shot do we want to use? That one. Nope, I didn't want a rating to 1. I want to delete it. That one's soft. Let's try this one. We didn't get a lot of poses out of them, which we don't sometimes. It's just kind of the way it works. Get what you can get. Nice shot though. Oh, I like it. Okay, there's one down. And this is Genie. Really sweet dog. I got pity mix. It says retriever mix, but I see a little pit bull in there. And she was really sweet. A little all over the place, but very sweet. Might try that one. Doesn't look like I got a flash on that one though. I did on that one. It's a little soft. I'll try this one. See. Make sure it's not too soft. No, it's not too bad. There's our face shot. And for our body shot, that one's not bad. It's actually probably the better of them. I don't like that her tail is flipped around the other way. But we don't always get to pick and choose, unfortunately. Just gonna take what we can take out of it. Sharpen that up a bit. Saturate it a little. That's the new dog. He's not too pleased about being in the kennel. That's the first thing we do with all our fosters is we make sure if they're not kennel trained, we get them there because it's very important for their safety and our sanity both. And because we do have 3 other dogs, and our little female, she can be a little handful sometimes with other dogs. She's a black-mouthed cur, and She's a Dane Blackmouth Cur mix. Well, Blackmouth Curs, their job was to keep other dogs and stuff off the farms, away from the sheep and the livestock. So she deals with that every time we bring a new foster home. She's got to be introduced to them, get to know them, know that they're okay and they're okay to be here, and then she'll be good with it. But that takes a couple days generally to get her processed. It's a really cute shot. I like this one. Yep, I like it. Well, we got her 3 for Jeannie. And this is Vader. This guy, he was something. He's going to be a handful for somebody. He needs some training. A lot of training. He was a crazy one. He. Closest thing for a face shot is probably this one. So we will paste our settings on here. Pull those down. Roll that up. We'll clean up some of those little eye boogers and whatnot when we go in and take the leashes out. Face shot. Black spots on the tongue. For a body shot, we're gonna have to do the whole sitting thing because he was pissed at me for making him be on that leash. He was not happy with it. Not happy with it. Not happy with me. But some of these dogs can be a lot to handle sometimes. It's not as bad with the smaller ones because they're pretty easy to keep reined in, but the bigger ones, if they're like that, that can be a little nuts. And I think we'll do, it's a little blurry, we were in the middle of a head spin. Looks like same deal. Eyes are a little closed there, but it's nice and sharp. So we'll pull that one down. A little bit on the dark side. Not super happy with this one. Really not. Pull those shadows up, highlights down a bit. It's a little better. Oh, that might delete. Alright, I hit 1 on that, rated that. I think that'll work for those 3. And then we have Frito. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the cool weather and the dogs, but all the dogs at the kennel are just wound right now. Which, they had so many dogs. We had so many cats. We had so many cats, they had pop-up kennels set up. The little fold-up ones to put them in because there was no more space. There was at one point, when was that? I think it was Friday. Pretty sure it was Friday. Had 17 cats come in a 2-hour span. It was insane. We had, so I think some of them are in foster now. We had 4 litters of kittens as well. It was nuts. It just come in spurts. This guy was not happy about the leash either. But look at that beautiful face. I think that's going to be our face shot. I mean, it's good that they're coming in because then they're getting fixed and taken care of and finding good homes and all that versus out roaming the street. And a few tough cases come in too. I mean, I'm much more a dog person than a cat person. I just always have been. And we're a dog family. But I do a lot of work with cats as well. I love them just the same. But I've seen some real tragedies come in the past few days. Or at least over the past week with the kittens. And I do not understand people. Sometimes I don't even know where it comes from, like how you can neglect any living thing to that degree. It blows my mind that there are people like that out there. I wouldn't have thought it. Don't like that picture at all. I'm just gonna clean up. I know I'm running a little short on hard drive space. I need to archive some stuff off. That's about the only body shot we have. Well, no, we got this one. Let's see about that one. Pace settings. But, you know, that's why we do what we do, and we love it, and it makes us feel great about doing it too. Helping the animals. I mean, we don't just photograph, we also work with the dogs. We foster dogs. We help with all kinds of stuff, the off-site events. It's just kind of our thing and what we do. And I'm hopeful it might inspire you to go out there and give it a shot. Just a few hours a week even, would just do wonders. I like this one too. We're gonna try this. Little bit too bright. There we go. There's our 3 for Frito. And we have Laverne. She was a little energetic, to say the least. It's not didn't jump as much as a lot of the others, but man, just all over the place. Young, full of energy, nowhere to get it out. Wow, that one's... I didn't lose anything. It's really bright. Excuse me. But I think we'll make this work. Adorable shot. Yeah, there we go. It's really sweet, just full of energy. Face shot. It's about the best body shot we got. They were just all over the place. I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything with that without doing some major editing. Probably not, but we'll try. That's a cute shot. Editing that fur is going to be I just noticed that. That's going to be an issue. say an issue. Anything is possible, but I don't spend a ton of time on each photo, or I would be here all day and nobody'd get pictures. Or anything else for that matter. And these, you know, by the time I even post them, some of these dogs are already being adopted. So they won't even ever get used. Others will get used quite a bit. But people will get a dog based on a picture. It doesn't have to be the greatest picture. They're not looking for studio quality stuff when they are out hunting for dogs. The more we're looking for it, does that dog say anything? Does it speak to them? Or maybe it reminds them of an old dog that they had or whatever. So we try to catch their good moments and show them what they can be, because it's not fair to judge them being at the shelter, because they don't behave at the shelter the same they will once they get home and get calm. Kind of fall into place. This looks like a pretty good face shot. So, you know, for the face shots, I mostly look at photos. If I have quite a few face shots, I'll look at photos that the rest of the picture doesn't really do anything for me. And then I can just snag the headshot out of it. And this one was not doing much for me. It's even a little bit soft, actually. Body shot. We got several good ones here to look at. I like this one. All right. And then what else do we like here? Such a cute look. I was probably whistling at her or something to get her attention. I'm not gonna be able to do that though. It's like she's gonna have to be leaning in the shot if I use that one. I mean, it's not terrible. Kind of like this a little better though. Like the pose. Holy cow. And that works. And then our last one here, Bean. Male shepherd mix. All over the place. I think we're gonna have to use this one. We don't have a straight on headshot. Nice and sharp though. Body shot. I don't really care for that one. I don't know. There's something about the body pose. Do we have anything else? Not really. Well, let's see what it looks like. Crop down, maybe it'll work. Yeah, we'll make it work. Not the hugest fan of the body pose. Yeah, it's harder to build up. Pretty bad. Which is not surprising. That'll do it there. Alright, now it's time to do some editing. And as always, when I edit, these files are huge. The stream will probably hiccup a little bit here and there. Looks like we're actually losing a few. And it's loading so much information in and out of memory. I really need a different stream machine, but not right now. So we're just gonna have to work with it. I have to deal with a few lost frames. I was afraid it would be goofy with the ear. There we go. Pull the eyes up a little. And that works for that one. On to the next. Really like that shot. Really cute shot. And I knew that was going to do that. And just cleaning it up a little bit. Nice shot. I like that one. I like that one. And this is our face shot. And we're going to have the ear thing again. And why it's pulling all that craziness over, I have no idea. Oh, come on now. I think we can make that work. I think being the operative selection there. Filter, blur. Blur that out a bit to fix that whole issue. That works. And these all get exported at really low resolution, so most of the things I'm doing you'll never notice. Unless you're specifically looking for them, then you might. I don't know. On to the next. See how badly this gets butchered? There's a lot of textures in there. Not bad. I always say that. It always comes through. Didn't like how that looked right there. Looks pretty good now, though. This was kind of our shot choice. Not exactly liking all that. Lighten those eyes up a little bit. Quite a bit, actually. I really like to pull that color out. This one's a little bit soft. Sharpen the eyes up a little. Turn the DPI down on that mouse because it was going a little bit crazy. Alright, that gives us those three. Vader. The crazy one. Oh my goodness, I didn't get enough sleep last night. And our Dane, Jackson, never lets me sleep past 7:30-ish. He's all up in our business. Waking us up. Telling us, get up, I need to eat. I love him, but he can sure be a pain in the ass sometimes. And that left a little patterning in there, which that tool is terrible about. think that works. Eyes are already pretty bright. Ugh. What the hell is this thing doing? A terrible job at it, whatever it's doing there. Man, she was mad at me. She was not happy. And I don't know what's going on, but this tool seems to be doing worse and worse. I think it's because this leash is the same color as the dog, so it's having some issues defining the areas and what exactly I want and what I don't. Don't really like all that. That's good. With that, we've been streaming now about an hour. We're going to take a short break. And when we get back, we're going to finish editing these up. But thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. Stand by. I'll be back here in a few minutes.
I'm so afraid that I'll keep on losing, but you're whispering, trust in me, love me, open up your heart and let our love begin. Trust in me, and let me in. Love me, love me, whispering, love me,
All right. Got a few more dogs to edit here. Frito. He's really handsome. A bit of a knucklehead, but very good looking dog. Nothing that couldn't be trained out of him. Come on now. There we go. Very beautiful though. Especially if you like shepherds. Big old smile. Great big smile. Beautiful. One more of him. Dropping quite a few frames. Like I said, these images are huge, so I shoot RAW. I don't shoot JPEGs, so they're about 50 megs each, 55 megs each per picture. But that lets us do pretty much whatever we want with the photos cropping wise and not have a lot to worry about. Eyes are already pretty bright. Laverne. Drop a few frames there. This hair is kind of a mess here. I don't know if we can accidentally make it look better or not. Ooh, that's not bad. That'll work. Now let's see what it'll do with this big chunk. It usually does alright with these big sections like this. Usually. Man, that's not bad, it's a little weird. That's more believable. That's not. There we go. Looks like he's got some fur patch issues there on his face. I'll lighten those eyes up a little. This one will be a lot more difficult to get out. So there's nothing overly complicated or technical about what I'm doing. Anybody can do this, especially if you have Photoshop. That's what these tools are for. They're to make your job easier. And they usually do a pretty damn good job of it. Ain't no sense to reinvent the wheel. Not a huge fan of that fur right there, but I'm gonna leave it because anything I do with it is gonna look far worse. I am curious how this is gonna work out though. It's not too bad. Did some weird stuff to the foot. But that I think we can fix pretty easily. Just kind of randomizing what I'm pasting over here because this tool, you can kind of see a stripe right here. The eyes are, human eyes are really, really good at picking up patterns. And so I'm trying to unpattern it a bit. I'm not doing the greatest job. Actually, that's probably the way I should have done it to begin with. Just start over here and just copy it. Copy some grass over. There we go. Beautiful. And one more was the face shot. Blur that a little bit. More. Whoops, and I'm dragging my window around. up a little. And done. That's simple. We have Kerr Reynolds. That's an interesting spin on a name. I wouldn't have thought of it. I hate running the edge of the ears because it always jacks it up. So we're gonna do it ourselves. Just like that. Beautiful. Lighten those eyes up. Really pulled them out too. Adorable. Face shot. Soft face shot at that. And I just, for these, again, I just generally just use the sharpen tool and sharpen them up a bit. You don't need to unsharp mask and go crazy unless it's just something you really want to do. Actually, I overdid that one a little. But there's, again, for this, there's not a ton of reason. Now, if this was studio work, well, if this was studio work, these pictures would be a whole lot different. A whole different beast. For me, anyway. Because when I go out and do these, I'm not overdoing it. I'm not going crazy, trying to make everything perfect. I just want to get good shots. And 95% of the time, I end up with great shots for what they're being used for. And I'm cool with that. Because any more would just take a lot of time to set up, to shoot, to edit. And it's just unnecessary for this purpose. Really nice shot. Pull those eyes up some. They're a little dark. And beautiful. Probably could have straightened that picture out a little bit better, but still a really nice shot. A few more to go here. Just about got this all knocked out. Now those look like scars on his face, so I'm not going to edit those out because scars are permanent. And I'll always have them. And if I if I edited them out, I would be misrepresenting the animal. And that's just unethical. So I don't do it. Not for this anyway. If it's somebody's personal dog and they want something like that edited out, that's their business. Happy to do so. But for the sake of getting them adopted, I don't like to do that because I don't know that anybody, like if I edited all those scars off and someone wanted the dog and they come in and he's got scars all over his face and they're like, oh no, I don't want that, you know. I think it's a lose-lose if I did that, so I don't do it. I take leashes off because I like the pictures better without them. And I don't think I'm misrepresenting the animal by doing so. I mean, they didn't have a leash on until we pulled them out of their kennel. Of course, that doesn't mean they can all be off leash all the time, but this is going to pull that lip down a bit because we are very close to it. Oh, it didn't. I am thoroughly surprised. I almost would have bet money it would have. Yeah, I was afraid it would do weird stuff with that ear. And it's still going to do it anyway. Lemon Sparkle. Hi, how you doing? You have a great voice for ASMR. I've heard that before. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we're pretty chill here on this channel. Today is our puppy editing day. We're normally doing games, things of that nature. But the wife and I volunteer at our local animal shelter and we do photography work to get the puppies adopted. Today is the day we edit those. Oh, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Been a busy one here. Been a little crazy today. It's cooling off though here in Texas, which is nice for a change. I'm finding Photoshop very difficult and admire your ability. Well, thank you. I'm not doing anything fancy here. This is all pretty straightforward stuff. I know it can be a little intimidating if you're newer. But there are so many great tutorials out there on the internet, specifically on like YouTube. It could help you get into anything you want, really. Whatever it is you're trying to accomplish or do. There's a tutorial out there for it. I've been using Photoshop since Photoshop was a thing. And I'm still not that great at it, but I know my way around it a little bit. And with these particular pictures anyway, I'm not looking for anything super fantastic. These all get shipped out low res. I did get a Wacom tablet for Christmas. Awesome, those are nice. But so far, not so great. I think the pen is too sensitive. What are you trying to do with it? Are you retouching? Are you drawing? Are you painting? All the above. Like what would you like to do with it? Retouching? I normally use it for retouching. I'm using a mouse right now on the dogs because they're just not super critical, and there's nothing I need so critical. Now, if I had to go in and retouch a photo to edit like hair on a model or something like that, yes, then I use a pen and a tablet because sometimes you even gotta draw the hair in, and that's super hard to do with the mouse. But I was using mice back with the Apple IIe's, and so I'm kind of a mouse guy myself. I've used them for a long time. A bit of drawing. There's a lot of great artists out there with the tablets. There's some great streamers on Twitch that use tablets that are really amazing. I couldn't do it. Just change raw files. Yeah, I find Lightroom, I like to use Lightroom to do most of my raw adjustments, and then I use Photoshop for my touch-ups. Maybe a little bit of sharpening or dodging or burning, but I do really all my color correction and everything right in Lightroom. I'm really into film photography. Awesome. Trying to learn digital again. I never did really get much into the whole film thing. Man, those teeth look awful. They really need cleaned. I like to try to kind of recreate the film. I say the film feel. I guess it was more of the art style. You know, around noir and just kind of the vintage, the whole vintage feel and look. I really like doing photography like that. But of course, I do it digitally. So, but I really do enjoy that stuff. There's just something about it that I really like. I think it's kind of the way that the directors or the photographers, depending movie or a photo, the way they tell a story through mood and lighting and pose. Because anymore, it's, to me, in the movies anyway, it's just, they're all the same. You know, how Hollywood is your light kind of thing. There's not much of a sense of style through light. There's a few films out there that do it, but not many. Matter of fact, the last, and I know there's been more, but the last film I can think of that really tried to stylize the film was Natural Born Killers. That's been a while, but that's the last one I can really think of that was heavily themed for a style that wasn't just your typical blockbuster movie stuff. Photography is painting with light. Well, yeah, exactly. Light is your medium, for sure. But it's about, you can do so much with that. You can change the whole story and everything with your light. My photography art style is generally very low key, very dramatic. Just because that's what I like, that's what I enjoy. But, you know, to each their own. There's all kinds of awesome art styles out there. Yeah, you know, the way that I kind of got, well, I've been some sort of artist my whole life. I was creative director in a corporate world for a while, and up in the Midwest, outside of St. Louis, and just I got tired of that grind and that life and the hours, and so now I do art, I do photography, I work with animals. My rescue kitty is at my feet. Awesome. Well, thank you for saving them. I wish more people would. We get so many animals at our shelter. I was mentioning earlier on the stream. Last week? No, it was Friday. So yeah, in theory, last week. We had 17 cats come in a 2-hour period at the shelter. It's crazy. I'm in corporate. I'm nearly 50. I feel like getting out. I hear you. I was very fortunate. I am not independently wealthy, and I'm not even well off, I would think. But we manage our money very well so that we can enjoy life, because I have yet to see a U-Haul behind a hearse. You can't take that shit with you. You live your whole life trying to amass some money that you're just going to leave to somebody else. That's how we look at it anyway. We'd rather enjoy our time here doing the things we love and spending that time with the people that we care about and trying to make some sort of difference in the world, which is why we volunteer. 17, yeah, it was, there There was a couple that were litters that came in of cats, and just I don't know, it, because I also work part-time for the county at the animal shelter, and I've always been a big fan of animals. I've always loved animals, and it was for a while it was very difficult to work there because I'm a very empathetic individual, especially about the animals. And you see some real tragic cases come in there. You know, and at first, all you want to do is get mad at people. It typically doesn't do any good because most of those people just flat out don't know any better. And even if you told them, it wouldn't make much of a difference. Not that everybody's like that, just in some of the rough cases. But it's very disheartening. But hopefully, it's like I hope for the day that they put us out of work. Like no animals. There's no animals at the shelter because there are no strays. There are no abandonments. That would be so nice. I would love to see that. It'll never happen in my lifetime, but maybe my daughter's. That would be amazing. Which she was in school for she was in veterinary school. And then she got all wrapped up around a military guy, and she ended up pregnant and had a boy, and she's back in college though. She's going for a doctorate in psychology, so at least she's going back at it, even if it's something different. I'm in London, and it's very fast paced. Awesome. Yeah, I got a few friends, streamer friends and whatnot out that way. Yeah, she's back in college. I was happy to hear that. I was a little worried because she had been, you know, through the time that she was pregnant and even after she had our grandson, she still went to school kind of like part-time online. She just never really focused on anything, and she recently changed her major to psychology and started back full-time, so. Yeah, it's me too. I told her that because I think I'd mentioned to her before, if I had everything to do over again, that's probably what I would have done. I would have went into psychology a little more. I loved the classes in college. I never really took to it. I was more into the art and creative stuff at the time, but I really enjoyed them. Enjoyed the classes. It was very intriguing. I'm not much of a people watcher, but the goings on of the mind and behavior and how people react to certain things and why and what makes them react that way, that stuff intrigues me. And it may be one of the reasons I enjoy dogs so much and pets in general, because they can never tell you what they're thinking. It's kind of up to you to deduce it all. And I like to think that I'm right more often than not, but sometimes you just don't know. And we're actually, I think we're done with these edits. Going through here. But man, it was cool out today. Cooler. I don't know what it is in Celsius. It was about 68 degrees Fahrenheit here today, which is a little on the cooler side. And the dogs are just crazy. They were just jumping all over and freaking out. And man, it made it tough to get pictures today. Oh, you still thinking? Okay. Yeah, well, some people from, you know, around that area, they you say Fahrenheit, what? You know, do you tell me Celsius? I get a ballpark of where that is, but I don't usually know exactly. I have to go translate it to figure it out. Yeah, I think that's it. What a doll. I meant to do things in Celsius. Was taught both at school. Yeah, here in the States they don't really teach. Well, it depends. If you get more into scientific fields, it applies a lot more. But for the fields I was in, it was never that big of a deal. So they never really leaned on it. Of course, in the automotive field, because the very first time I went to college was for automotive. and then you're dealing with the metric system. But yeah, that came out all right. But yeah, it's, you know, whatever works. You know, the US way of doing things is usually ass backwards anyway, so you kind of do everything with grenades around here. If it's close, it works. Well, I think we're good here. Yeah, I think you caught us here at Lemon Sparkle right at the end of the stream. We do this on Sundays. I was talking to my wife earlier about this. I'm thinking about discontinuing this particular stream. It's not a very popular one. I mean, it is when people are here. Everybody enjoys it when they're here. But there's not a lot of entertainment value in it, I guess, or educational content for that matter. So we don't get very busy. And it's because of this and my other stream schedule and my job and my dogs and my fosters. I'm always going, so I'm looking for some places to trim some corners. So. And this might be one of them. It's quite relaxing to watch. Yeah, it is. Sometimes too much so. But, you know, most of my streams, even when we're gaming or whatever, they're pretty laid back, pretty chill. Yeah, I haven't had a day off in I don't know how long. A very long time. And even though, you know, if I'm off at work, I'm doing stuff here. If I'm off here, I'm doing stuff at work. I'm doing stuff with the dogs, the fosters, the shelter, doing events for the dogs, photography work. It's always something. I'm burning the candle at both ends. For certain. I mean, I enjoy it, but it can wear on you. It can wear on you. He was absolutely crazy. But he's beautiful. Beautiful brindle. But he was a nut. He did not like his leash. He went full-fledged crazy for a few minutes. Until he figured out, oh, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I better just calm down. And that's why we only got these sitting shots like this. Because he ended up pissed at me. Because my wife helps me with these. And she was just wigging out. This dog was just going crazy. And she couldn't get him to calm down, so I walked up, grabbed the leash, adjusted it, showed her how to let him get it out, because he was frustrated. He didn't want this thing on him. And I showed her how to kind of let him get it out, and it took him about 20-30 seconds of him going full mental, and then he finally went, all right, I'm not going anywhere. And he just sat down. And so that whole rest of that shoot was just him sitting down. He knew he lost. But they're good dogs underneath that. They're just in bad places at crazy times, and they don't know what's going on, and scared, and there's so many dogs there, and there's cats and livestock and everything else. So I liken it to taking pictures of toddlers, because you basically find the environment that you would like to use as your backdrop, and then you bring them over. And you just set up to shoot, and you wait until something happens that everything kind of lines up where you can grab a shot, and then hope it's not happening so fast that it doesn't end up a wreck. So we get quite a few though. I've taken so many of these. I've gotten used to kind of what to look for and when to do the photograph, and if a dog's gonna work for the photograph or not. And because some of the dogs, you know, they're complete hams for the camera. You know, this dog was one of them. They were perfectly fine with the camera. Some other dogs, the minute you pull that thing up, they're freaking out. They'll hide behind my wife. They won't even come out. It can be a trick for sure. But I've got thousands of dog photographs on this computer. I actually need to archive some off my hard drives, or one of my hard drives. I usually archive about once a year off that drive, but this year we have been so busy that it's already full, and I'm still a few months out from the end of the year, so I've been doing quite a bit. Kitties are bad enough to photograph. I have photographed pets, or cats, but I've done them I've done them at the shelter in what they call the cattery, which is like a medium-sized room, which is not very attractive. I won't photograph cats outside because that's just dangerous for them and for everybody else, because they'll take off and who knows what. But I've also photographed cats in a studio environment. I haven't done much studio work here lately. I released my studio downtown because I wasn't getting the kind of use out of it that I needed to get out of it for the lease, and so I moved to a home studio, and I haven't been doing much at home. I've been so busy with everything else. But if you catch me sometime, today's probably not the greatest day. I've got to shut this stream down. I got to handle my dogs, and then I got to restart on the game stream time. But yeah, catch me. You can. I don't know if you use Discord, Twitter. I've got all that stuff. You can hit me up. I can show you some of my studio work, or if you have questions about that, I think that'll give you my Discord. There's my Discord link if you do Discord. You can always follow me. Actually, that's the wrong command. You on Discord? Yep, I'm always on Discord in one capacity or another. I'm not always active on Discord, but I'm always in it. Yeah, if you have questions or whatever, and again, I'm not a genius by any far stretch of the imagination, but I've done a lot of this kind of work. I've done a lot of work in the art field and commercial field, so I'm happy to try to help if you have questions or even listen or just bullshit in general. I'm sometimes okay with that too. But I've got to export all these, and see, I export them all, and then I got to pull them into Photoshop again, and I overlay their names on top of them, and I put them all together and zip them up and send them off to the volunteers to get so they can use them on Facebook, and I think they even go to Instagram and stuff like that to help get these wonderful dogs homes. Well, thanks, I appreciate that. And yeah, you can let me actually, where you at? Switch and give you a member role there. There you go. And you can usually message me through there or whatever, or sometimes I'm on there for gaming or whatever. But yeah, anytime you have questions or whatever, feel free to hit me up. Yeah, I'm going to need probably about an hour. I'm going to be wrapping up the loose ends of this and dogs and all that. And then we'll be back up streaming again for some game time. We'll be doing some more WoW, World of Warcraft stuff. Not Classic, BFA, the newest expansion. And maybe a friend will be around. We might do some dungeons and things like that. But love animals. Mother was from a Welsh language farming stock. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I know very little culturally about most of that. Not much on that academically, but I have heard a bit about it. Sounds amazing. I grew up visiting with all kinds of animals. Very cool. Yeah, like livestock type of animals? Like that, or what kind of animals? Because I love horses too. Looked after lambs. Oh, yeah, goats and lambs, sheep, I've never liked them too much. And that's mostly because they are incredibly noisy, I find, for me. And I'm just probably old and grumpy, but for me, they're just obnoxious. At the shelter that I work at, we have part of it is for livestock. We don't interact with it directly. It is part of the county, but it's more of the sheriff's department than it is the animal services department. But we get mules, donkeys, horses, chickens, cows, bulls, just any kind of abused, neglected, stray animal that's out. And it sometimes it's amusing. They have a mule over there now that he gets to just making all kinds of racket. And I mean, it's loud. You can hear it across the whole shelter. And he'll go on and on for a good 5 minutes. Your aunt used to breed golden retrievers. They're beautiful animals. Beautiful. I've never had a retriever. I've seen many of them. Not too many coming to the shelter, actually, which is a great thing. We don't see too many at the shelter. Mostly the most common breed at the animal shelter here are pit bulls. Because actually I don't really know why. I mean, I understand, I know kind of some of the negativity and why people don't want to adopt them, but I don't understand how we got so many to begin with. To me, I just don't know how we got such a population problem with them. They tend to get on with the kitties. Yeah, they're pretty laid back and pretty chill. We do Great Danes mostly here in our house. I've got one dog. He's a Lab German Shepherd mix. And I think the Danes would get along just fine with cats. Now, one of our Danes is a mix. She's a Great Dane Blackmouth Cur mix. I don't think she would get along too well with cats. You like large dogs? Well, we do too. We do too. We've got really, well, Jackson, he's not huge. He's 123 pounds, I think. And we just took in a new Foster Dane today. He's really thin. He probably won't go 105 pounds or so. He should weigh around 120. He's like ribs sticking out, hip bones sticking out. He's in bad shape. But he was at the shelter and we brought him home to nurse him back to health. Rhodesian Ridgeback, wow. She loves cats. Wow, that's amazing. You can imagine that cat is now in charge. That would be so cool to see. Because those Rhodesians, they get over 200 pounds, don't they? They're massive. Really big. I don't know what that is in kilos, again. But big. Very large. She likes to hug visitors. Our Dane does too. Lily is her name. Ah, it's adorable. It's adorable. Yeah, if you got pictures, feel free to toss them to me on Discord. I love seeing stuff like that. I love hearing about all the puppies. And cats, for that matter. Again, we're dog people. I still adore cats. We just don't have any. I prefer dogs. We have dogs. Not in the cat department. The foster we just took in, according to what I heard, he doesn't exactly like cats. I don't know. I haven't tested him myself, but which is alright because we don't have cats here. So, but anyway, I'm about to wrap this up. Like I said, I got to export these photos out. I really do appreciate you coming by Lemon Sparkle and checking us out today. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that follow button up there to let you know anytime I go live. Hey, Red Eye, we're just wrapping it up, buddy. Inherited a sheepdog. Oh, well, damn, that's a lot of hair. That's a lot of hair. I like the short hair. Our little, our Lab Shepherd mix has longer hair, and it's pretty messy. That sheepdog's got to have a lot. Oh, you hit follow a month ago. Oh, awesome. You wake up. Well, what were you sleeping? Just woke up from a nap. Well, I'll be back on here in, I don't know, an hour or so. We'll be streaming games again. Only understood commands in Welsh. Wow, that must have been tricky. Well, not if you know the language, I guess. But no, that's awesome. But yeah, please drop back by and see us. You can always hit me up on Discord. Feel free to drop in and check out the game streams. Like I said, we're going to be back in about an hour and a half or so. Probably with some World of Warcraft. Not exactly sure what we're going to do yet. I might be doing some instances. I'm not real sure. Hopefully something entertaining and exciting anyway. But, you know, I really do appreciate you guys coming by. It's been keeping going with the whole puppy thing has been tough. And it's been tough because it's not a real popular theme. Everybody that comes here loves it. All right, I'm not saying that. It's just it's not a very... I have so much on my plate already that if I don't get a lot of traffic on it, there's no sense to spend the time. I mean, I have to edit them anyway, but I can edit them twice as fast if I do it off stream. So I might be killing the puppy stream. Not 100% sure on that yet, but that's the thought at the moment. I might stop doing that. But you guys can always feel free to give me your input through Discord or whatever. But yeah, I'll be back in about an hour and a half or so. You need to take care of you. Yeah, I do a lot of this stuff anyway. You know, it's like I said before, but it's a matter. I'm trying to streamline things so everything's a little more effective, and I'm trying to get more of where I'm wanting to go. And the puppy streams are great, but there's not a huge audience for it. Not too many people. Well, unfortunately, not too many people volunteer. Period. Let alone volunteer and do photography work. At least not a lot of them that are on Twitch or looking for streamers. So, but I like doing it because I like sharing the stories. I like sharing the dogs. I like sharing my experience with it. But there's not typically too many around to share that with. And so if there's not a lot of need for the content, there's no sense to put the content out there, if you know what I mean. Put it on YouTube as ASMR. Actually, all of my dog videos go out to YouTube. You can go check out my YouTube channel. I think that's the command. No, maybe not. I don't remember what the command is for it. I haven't used that one forever. I think there's a link down below for it. But all of my dog videos are on YouTube. I always export them over to YouTube. They don't get very many views either. A few. I think it's pretty much the same person, to be honest. Let's see, commands. I'm gonna find it for you because I should know it anyway. But like I said, I don't. It is YouTube, but it sure as hell didn't do anything, did it? Oh, that would be why. Because I have it turned off. I have it turned off because it the link is. I don't know. I had to do a redirect because YouTube has criteria now for getting your own URLs. You gotta have a bazillion followers or subscribers or whatever before they do it, blah, blah. But anyway, that's my YouTube. You can always go there and check out my stuff. I've got, I don't know, we've been doing the puppy thing for 4 months. Every week for 4 months now, I think. And like I said, it's just not getting a lot of traffic. And, you know, if I could spend the time better elsewhere and serving people better, then I'd rather do that. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you think. I'm really curious. But, you know, again, thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. We'll be back up in about an hour or so once I get some stuff taken care of here. And we'll be streaming WoW. And then the rest of the schedule you'll see below. If you look down below, you'll see my full schedule. And again, subject to change. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll let the puppy thing ride for another week or two before I make that drastic decision to not stream it anymore. But we'll see. But thanks again for hanging out, guys. And hopefully I will check you out in about an hour and a half or so. If not, maybe I'll see you next Sunday. Perhaps not. Maybe on Discord. Whichever. But have a great afternoon, guys. I'll say, oh, you're going to be asleep? All right. Well, have a good sleep then. And we'll catch you maybe tomorrow. I'm streaming tomorrow. Or if nothing else, maybe next Sunday. But have a good evening. And Red Eye will probably catch you in a bit. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Talk to you soon.
You make me